Hello, America, how are you? Welcome to Let's Talk Vets Talk, coming to you from HC Media Studios here in the historic and ever so beautiful city of Haverhill, Massachusetts. I'm your host, Stephen Diffrey, United States Marine Corps. Today, we're about to embark on Operation Education, and to help brief us on that is none other than the highly touted Lovell Seymore from the University of Massachusetts Veterans Upward Bound Program. Thank you, Lovell, for being here today.
I'm happy to be here, Steve.
Now
Thank
it's
you
your
for
show.
inviting
Why don't
me.
you tell us what's going on today?
Well, I'm here to have conversation about educational benefits for veterans.
Okay, and that's the University of Massachusetts Veterans Upward Bound Program?
Well, actually, we are headquartered at UMass Boston. We've got several satellite locations where we have classrooms.
Okay, well, what is your mission at the Veterans Upward Bound Program?
Our mission at Veterans Upward Bound Program is to provide resources and support for the veteran who'd like to investigate post-secondary education, what that looks like, how to do it, how much is it going to cost, and really just support the veteran.
Oh, that's wonderful. Now, how did Upward Bound come about?
Okay, back in 1964, there was an Economic Opportunity Act that was passed by Congress, which initiated 12 or 16 pilot programs. These programs were successful. They were initiated to help bridge the gap for underserved populations to go to post-secondary education to get them ready. So, to help Vietnam War veterans integrate into post-secondary education, Veterans Upward Bound received their first project allotment from the Department of Education in 1972. And then in 1973, Veterans Upward Bound started at UMass Boston. So we've been there just a bit more over 40 years.
Are they the first in the nation, or was it all around?
It was all around. It was all around, yeah. But we were the first really core group of Veterans Upward Bound across the country.
If a veteran chooses to go to your program,
Yes.
what is the cost for that veteran to go to your program?
We are funded by a grant, so to the veteran there is no cost. The cost is the commitment from the veteran.
Commitment and time.
That's right.
Wonderful. Now, what is the eligibility requirements for a veteran to go to the Veterans Upward Bound Program?
The eligibility requirement is a veteran needs to have served 181 days active duty with a DD-214 with a discharge other than honorable.
And you also have ambulatory and handicapped veterans enrolled in this program as well?
Yes,
Male and female, I'm sure.
Yes.
Now, are the dependents eligible for your program?
No, this federal program is funded for veterans only.
For veterans. Now, we also know that there's a lot of frequently asked questions you go over. Do you guys provide child care?
No, at this time we don't.
Okay.
We're looking into that.
You're looking into,
Yes.
So if there's a veteran out there who wants to go to your program, we also know there are other programs in the community that may help that veteran get their own child care in order to go to your schooling.
That's correct.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, how about active duty members? Are they eligible at this time?
No, they're not. This is a veterans program.
How about the reservists who served full-time and now they're in the reserves?
Reservists who have been activated to active duty service and who have served for the 181 days active duty, they are eligible because they've been activated to active duty and they have a DD-214, which is part of our in-processing.
Wonderful. Now, how about on the Veterans Upward Bound, will they help pay for schooling to the next level?
No, Veterans Upward Bound is not a financial assistance program. We do help the students, though, investigate what sorts of free money is available in terms of grants, and filling out the FAFSA, the financial aid component for going to school. Our retention advisor actually sits with the veteran and helps them to make sure that this information is inputted correctly.
Now, I would have to guess that some of the veterans, like myself, that would go to the Veterans Upward Bound program, would walk around with a little pep in their step because now they're going to school.
Yeah.
But it's not always 20-year-olds, is it?
No.
You got a lot of older folks coming in?
Yes, our range of veterans, the majority of veterans are between the ages of 40 to 60 years old.
Really?
Yeah, but now with with the Afghanistan soldiers coming back, we're seeing a lot of younger veterans as well.
Now, also with that is the veterans the older veterans that are going to school, coming back in. It's more important, do you believe, for the older veterans to come back into your program as opposed to jump into secondary school and end up with failure, to come in to get the proper preparation from your program at the Veterans Upward Bound to instill the mainframe of proper thinking throughout school and the proper way to solve some of these questions and answers?
You're absolutely right, Steve. Veterans Upward Bound provides that model that for a lot of our veterans, when they were in high school, they're for one reason or another, they weren't focused on their academics and building those disciplines. What we do at Veterans Upward Bound is we provide an environment where those disciplines can be, revisited, or they can be actually created in terms of doing your homework, in terms of seeking assistance through a tutor and making sure your work is done on time, and what other obstacles that you may encounter in terms of being distracted from your schoolwork. We have resources available to help the veterans stay on track.
Cost of transportation provided in your program?
We are partnering with some of our veteran resource agencies that we can help by means-based testing with transportation, and we can also provide stipends in emergency situations.
And many of the non-ambulatory veterans who are in wheelchairs or on crutches, provided in the city of Boston, for instance, have the MBTA, the ride,
Yes.
which will help that veteran get to and fro, correct?
That's correct. We have several veterans already enrolled using those services.
So if you're a disabled veteran out there, don't feel like you can't do anything, correct? You can get there, and you will
Yes.
get there in a fairly timely manner.
That's right.
Perfect. So we got some veterans, older veterans, coming back, going to school.
Yes.
Some veterans themselves got laid off. They're collecting unemployment, or in some cases, the veterans here in Massachusetts particularly get the Veterans Chapter 115 help program that they have, financial aid program. If a veteran comes to your program, do they lose any of these things? What's the criteria on that?
The good news on that front is Secretary Nee had signed a bill stating that Veterans Upward Bound is also a training program. So this
wonderful.
will not interfere with a veteran's eligibility for those benefits.
Perfect, huh?
Yes.
Well, now we got to go into the big stuff. How are your classes structured in a manner where you have an eclectic mix of veterans of different ages, different ethnical and educational backgrounds? How do you put them all in the same room and teach them?
All right, great question. So basically what happens is we have 2 levels of each course that we're teaching. For example, a developmental class and an algebra class. That's how we would divide the academic levels initially. We also have supplemental programs such as the ALEX program. It's a computer-based math tutorial that will help the veteran improve their skills in the math component, for example. We've got 5 nights a week veterans can come into for classes. We've got laboratory science, English and writing, composition, and the other classes that are offered are also electives. We've got Japanese class, and we've got a study skills class in addition to those core computer skills classes.
A Japanese class?
Yes, might I add as well, classes run from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m.
5:30 to 8:30. That's at the UMass program.
That's correct.
Now, you also have satellites around the city, do we not, around the state?
Yes, we do. Yes, and I'm pleased to announce that on April 15th, we're going to get started in Hingham at the Grand Armory of the Republic. Classes will be from 6 to 9 p.m. on Tuesdays, and on Saturdays they will be from 10 to 1 p.m. In Haverhill, we've got at the Veterans Northeast Outreach Center, we've got classes running throughout the week, and we're looking to expand. So everyone in the Haverhill area, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We've got instructors, we've got structure, we've got a lot that we can offer veterans in terms of success models, and we welcome all questions. You know, there is no stupid question, and that's one of the things that I'm finding in the different locations that we have our satellite groups is the fear of asking stupid questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question. And in addition to that, we're going to be having our summer what we call boot camp. Math, science, and oceanography workshops, and that's going to be at Massasoit Community College and Cape Cod Community College, and we're looking to expand to further points west and east of the city, and that's mostly where we are
I would
right
have to
now.
guess that because you have different satellites,
Yes.
the times and dates of the classes would be varied, so you'd have to check into that
Yes.
program and what's local to
Call
you
us.
to get them going. Okay.
Yes.
Now, what about the program that you have where if you have a veteran who does not know anything about a computer, and yet you have computer-oriented learning structures? I mean, we got guys that still don't even understand what a mouse is or how to use the pointer. Do you have basic instruction into that?
Yes. Our computer program is dynamic. It is just amazing. We've got several tiers of instruction, and within each one of those tiers, we've got not only instructors, but we have one-on-one tutors to help students.
So you have instructor and tutors.
Tutors, yes. In addition to the classroom instruction at whichever tier level, if it's the basic computer or advanced computer, the student can schedule one-on-one with a computer tutor. And then they can come in and also practice if there's an issue with a laptop or something like that. They can come into the classroom/computer room in our office.
And
We've
you'll
got
have somebody
a
there to
computer
help
bank.
them.
Yes.
Big question of the day, typing. A lot of these older veterans walk away because they don't know how to type.
Right.
Is there a program for typing?
Yes, we've got the Mavis Beacon computer typing program. And a lot of our older veterans come in daily just to practice for 45 minutes or so.
So if you are a total novice and you haven't been to school in years,
Yes.
you have no computer skills,
Right.
you're of limited income, you have sadness and sorrow in your soul, and you can go to the Veterans Upward Bound program and you will turn all that around for the veterans at hand.
That's right.
Well, that's
right.
wonderful. So you can just show up with a pen and piece of paper, and then they can start you, they'll take you in and take it from there.
Even better than that, Steve. We give you the pen and paper.
Well, there you go, right there. How do you like that? Now, what about the assessment level? I have to gather that some people are more educated than others, although they haven't been to a college per se.
Right.
Just a university hard knocks gets you some knowledge in life. What do you do to bring the person in, that veteran in, to get them to find out where they're at?
Right. That's the critical assessment. We have what's called the Accuplacer test, which is used by all colleges for identifying the placement of math and writing. We use that to also identify the scope and sequence curriculum for the veterans in our classrooms. So they come in, they take the Accuplacer test. It takes about an hour, and we give them a printout. We explain to them, exactly what their skill sets are, and after they finish our program, and We have increments of 4 weeks to 16 weeks. They'll take it again so that they can measure their progress. And the benefit, the dual benefit of that is the fact that taking remedial classes and developmental classes here with us at Veterans Upward Bound, the veteran is not going to be using their GI Bill for classes that they will not be getting credits for towards their degree. So we're trying to eliminate that, that process of having to take developmental class credits that you're not going to be able to get credit for. So basically
Sure.
you're going to school for no credits except to be eligible to go into accredited class.
Well, I have one question then to follow up on that. It is not unlikely that a veteran of 50 years old would come in and take your Accuplacer test and find out they have a higher reading and writing skills, but they're in a second and third grade math skills.
Yeah.
So you're able to take the higher education of that veteran in one aspect and the lower education of that same veteran and focus, is that correct, on the math part to help bring them from, so in essence you'd be, the first week you could be in first and second grade, the second week you could be up to third grade math and then work your way up to where it's comfortable for you, is that correct?
Right,
and
right.
how long is your
Progress.
program per veteran? Is it different for each veteran?
No. And that's the other really important that I'd like the listening audience to be aware of. You cannot fail Veterans Upward Bound. You know, it's like the spring training, the score doesn't count.
I see.
Okay? This is the collective environment that you want to have in order to be able to have your trial and error without being a consequence. So you keep coming to Veterans Upward Bound until you're ready to navigate to the next point in your education,
Wonderful.
which we help you with.
Well, that was going back to one of the other programs is, other question rather is, a veteran, we get there's so many education programs out there right now, financially speaking, for the GI Bill and other secondary programs. I know personally that a lot of guys jump into the money, they jump into school, and now they're overwhelmed. They're like, I have no clue what I'm doing. Now we have failure, and we have failure to the ultimate degree. So what do we do as veterans to know that we're going to get this money and we know we're going to go to school? That's where your program comes in, correct? You come in to test us out, to get us going, to get us in the thing, to get our mind going back, and then we take the next step.
That's right. And that's the important, that's the crucible, to understand what your options are so that you can make informed choices.
Informed choices.
Yes.
Question of the day, right?
Yeah.
Now, what's the difference between a developmental course and a credit course per se?
Well, developmental course, you're not going to have any credits that's going to be used towards your degree program. For example, algebra, if you need algebra, you're going to get your a degree in liberal arts. You may have to take Algebra 101, but you take your Accuplacer test and it says you need Math 99. You're going to need to take Math 99, but you're not going to get 3 credits towards your semester course. But when you take the Algebra 101, you will get the 3 credits. So the 97 is the developmental and the 101 is the credited course.
Wonderful. Now, I'm sitting here as a veteran. I want to go to school.
Yes.
I've got all these things coming to me. It would be prudent for me to first go to your program, to learn the basics again, to go back to school, the timeline, catch the bus, catch the train, watch the traffic, to get informed with your program, to get back to school before I even, some cases, maybe even apply for these programs to go to secondary schooling, because I may not be suited for it. Right. That's another failure. So we need to be able to get the veterans out there to understand that they can go to your program, and even if they don't go to school, they're not failing, because just to get off the couch or wherever they may be, to get back into the program, to go in, to feel good about yourself, to get dressed, to shave, to get your hair up, to get going in there. It's a self-esteem program just in the beginning, is it not?
Yes, yes, and that is, I believe, what makes Veterans Upward Bound stand out. We are a holistic program. It's not just about the academics. It's about the ancillary programs that we can recommend to veterans that come in with maybe homelessness or sickness or, PTSD. I mean, we have to be holistic in our approach to education.
How is your program staffed, and is it staffed by veterans as well?
Yes. Our director is an Army veteran. I'm an Air Force veteran. Our retention advisor is an Army veteran. Our front office manager is an Army veteran. Of our 4 staff members, we are 3 who have graduated from the Veterans Upward Bound program.
And did you go on to secondary school?
Yes, and now I'm in my Master's in Education degree program.
Some people go to your program, they go to 2-year schools, 4-year schools, and some go to certificate classes, correct?
That's correct, yes.
So it doesn't matter what your ultimate goal is, you still need the primary goal of getting back into school in the program to understand what's going on.
It's the process of discovery. A lot of our veterans come in, they think they know what they want to study, and the retention advisor helps them by setting up an appointment with a director of whatever program that might be, and they realize, no, that's not really what I want. But the important thing is to at least get started trying something, and you can always change, whatever avenue that you're on. But the important thing is to be in the system, working towards something within the group. We veterans have pack mentality, and we work best together.
Well, we're getting close to the end here. I have to ask you a question. You're on social media. You're on Lincoln, Twitter, Facebook.com? You're Veterans Upward Bound?
Yes.
Is it VUB or Veterans Upward Bound?
It's VUB.9.
.9.
Yes.
All righty. Now, if you're out there, America, and you think you may know a veteran who could qualify for this program or want to get somebody back into the workforce and they need to get back into the school program, this is something that veteran should be able to come first. Is that not so?
That's correct.
Because you cannot even advance in some of these jobs without some of these skills.
That's right.
All righty.
Yes.
Well, I guess we're near the end of the show today.
Oh, Steve.
I want to thank you for coming here today
It's a
and
pleasure.
informing all these folks.
Yes.
But I must tell all the folks out there that, my name is Steve. I'm a veteran. I'm not a clinician. I'm not a doctor. We're here just trying to help other veterans. I can't save everybody. I can only save myself and help a little. The folks here at HC Media have allowed us to take this opportunity to help inform the veterans of our community here in Haverhill and Merrimack community. So until next time, I want to say thank you very much. So until next time, America, please be kind to everyone you meet, for they have troubles too.
They all love me. It's very lovely, but oh, how I hate to get up in the morning. Oh, how I'd love to remain in bed. For the hardest blow of all is to hear the bugler call. You gotta get up, you gotta get up, you gotta get up this morning. Someday I'm going to murder the bugler. Someday they're going to find him dead. I'll amputate his reveille and step upon it heavily and spend the rest of my life in bed.
Oh, how I hate to get up in the morning.